I thank you for joining me here on Rastas Reality. I am Akil Bomani.
Shout out to the Rastas Reliable. You know who you are.
This is part 2 of interesting confusions that I thought were, interesting. On screen is a brief list of interesting confusions that I shall speak to, and for those who are not able to watch but are listening, I got you covered. The first on the list is, can you cry underwater? This one would warrant some research. How do you cry underwater? Can you even be sad enough to do so? The next one is, do fishes ever get thirsty? I do believe no one will ever know the answer. Because how does one test if a fish is thirsty when they are always within H2O? Inquiring minds want to know. The next one is, why don't birds fall off trees as they slumber? That's interesting indeed, because of the prospect of the wind blowing through the trees while the birds are on the branches. I believe the answer to why birds don't fall off trees while sleeping is because they are naturally balanced as a result of being avian creatures. And speaking of, I think a better question regarding this subject matter, regarding avian creatures or birds, is that why don't we see pigeons in trees? And about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I actually seen a pigeon in a tree. I do have a picture. I have to locate it, and when I do locate it, I'm going to put it in the community section. The next interesting confusion is, why is it called a building if it's already built? That's a great question. Does anyone have an answer that appeals to logic? The next interesting confusion is, when they say dog food is new and approved, who tastes it? Now this one should be a no-brainer, meaning the dog that these companies feed the so-called new and approved dog food to. But the water is quite muddy because there are beings, human beings, that eat any and everything here in the U.S. and abroad, dog food included. Then there's an additional question of whether or not the food is good for the animals' well-being and growth. Dogs will almost eat anything. So how does one gauge new and improved? The next one, interesting confusion, is, if money doesn't grow on trees, why do banks have branches? Very good question indeed. Especially knowing that paper money comes from trees, all while telling you that it doesn't grow on trees. Next interesting confusion is, why does round pizza come in a square box? Okay, this is another good question because there are some pizzas that come in square and or rectangle boxes. Those who created the box for the pizza figured to use a square box or container to maybe protect the round shape of the pizza. I don't know. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think regarding why round pizzas come in a square box. And lastly, why doesn't glue stick to the bottom? The only thing, in my opinion, that will make sense is that the glue bottle has been treated to repel the compounds of the glue itself as to why it doesn't stick to the bottle. It's a really interesting question because glue is made to stick, and yet it doesn't stick inside the bottle. Except for, it only sticks to the bottle when you have overflow that has dried up and hit the air. Maybe that's another reason why it doesn't stick to the bottle. Maybe air has something to do with coming in contact with the composition of the glue, therefore start the drying process. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Sound off and let me know what you think. Other than that, it's quite an interesting question. I salute you and your patience and you rocking with me here on Rastas Realities. Mess on that like button. Share and comment. I do read and enjoy the comments. Subscribe and check out the community section as I drop daily funnies, something to make you think, and or just interesting notes here and there.